Hello Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Welcome to your tarot reading here at the Intuitive Teacup. Please come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind. Take away only what resonates for you, and please release the rest. Do trust your own intuition above all else, because you are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. Let's go ahead and set the intention now to get my Libras out there watching. Some clear, helpful, and insightful messages for wherever they are at on their spiritual path, whatever we're allowed to know at this time. All right, so Libra, you were the star of the lunar eclipse that just happened. I hope you guys are doing well with all that. Major shifts and changes for all the signs, so let's see. We're going to start off with some oracle cards here, guys, and then we'll hop into the tarot. All right. For Libra. Came right out. All right. So, ooh, I like this. That looks cool. Looks like she's in a teacup. How appropriate for the intuitive teacup readings. The Alchemist. This is about empowerment, pain, and a sorceress. It says, oh, I don't break that easy. Not anymore. Instead, I use things as fuel. All right. So turning wounds into wisdom, maybe. Let's see. 3 and the 9 make 12. So that makes me think of hangman energy. Piscean energy, maybe. Yeah, something to do with a necessary sacrifice or a necessary letting go, a cathartic cleaning out or removal or elimination of something in order to make room for what's good in your life. This also speaks to me about like a good soak in the bathtub, like tending to your body, caring for your, like self-care essentially. Career, money, oracle. This is watch out. There's more than meets the eye. Be careful with whom you deal with finances. Someone might be taking advantage of your vulnerability. So I don't do fear-based readings here. That's not what these are about. This is just like, hey, forewarned is forearmed. With this card coming through, it's a very strong card of intuition, again, with that kind of feeling, fluid, watery Pisces energy. So it's like I think you have a pulse on a situation that it's like your intuition is speaking very loudly to you about something isn't quite right here. Maybe I'm wanting to give them the benefit of the doubt, but like my scales are off, so to say, as a Libra. And I think the universe is saying, trust that. I almost see someone... This almost is coming off of someone like licking their lips. It's like they might be flirting with you to get what they want. And the thing is, you're smart, Libra. You know this. So, I get it. Like maybe it's like fun to get the attention or whatever. But ultimately, like you got to be protective of your money and your finances, and not overgive to a situation specifically regarding people at work or in regards to your money. This could also have to do with a sibling dynamic too. Just be cautious of that. And then the gemstone that came out for you is Larimar. Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. I love that card. Really pretty. that kind of deep blue. Those cards are definitely in sync with one another. And then let's see. The original Innocent Fight. We're going to read about this. This is called the Fearless Fight Like a Girl deck. So whatever gender you identify with, I'm using this because it's Aries season, right? So Aries is a planet ruled by Mars, the planet of war. It's about fighting for what you love, fighting about what you're passionate about, or fighting for what you're passionate about, rather. All right. Original sin is a lie. You were not born defective, marred, or shameful in any way. You were born innocent and still carry the original state with you. Now is the time for you to contact that innocent self and carry her like a flame through the dark waters of fear or doubt. You will always encounter ghosts in the water of your consciousness that want to tell you that you are less than, that you must earn your worth by good deed or establishing value by what you contribute. This is falsity and a transgression against the miracle of the human soul. Your best armor against these ghosts and their piercing accusations of shame is your radiant heart. You are precious, made in the image of the Great Spirit, and carry her light within you through all your days. Seek innocence, mine it, endeavor to love yourself in the way that you would an infant or a new puppy. This is how the Great Spirit sees you. So being extra sweet, extra kind and gentle to yourself. Again, self-care, we mentioned that. And something about wading through the waters by carrying your light, shining your light, carrying the torch, so to say. All right, for Libra. Let the tarot talk. What does Libra need to know? But this does seem like exiting unnecessary relationships, toxic relationships, or just relationships that you've outgrown, or starting to see things with new clarity or perspective with hangman, like hangman type energy. Symbolically, it's like you had to invert yourself. You had to be in a period of rest or taking a break to really step back and assess your life and sort of, I'm hearing the word accountability, but kind of a greater understanding, a zoom out of where you are currently, and sort of, I'm getting like asking yourself, like, how did I end up here, and am I happy here? You know, what are some necessary changes? I think it's taking stock of the people and the relationships in your life, how you're feeding them, or not, right? A lack thereof, and you know, the balance back, the bounce back, who's feeding you or not at all? Where is there a lack of reciprocity in relationships? The sun, I love that. So highlighting the light, quite literally how it said, you know, shine your light through like the murky waters, because that's going to ward off like the negativity or the naysayers or the critics, right? The sun card can sometimes speak about children, but also it speaks about our own joy and our happiness, and, you know, shining our light, sharing our authenticity, our voice, our spirit, you know, our gifts. That's, you know, in my opinion, that's why we're here, right? We have one life to live here in the 3D on Earth, right? You know, maybe. But ultimately, it's about honoring what's in your heart and shining your light. When you're in that purpose, when you're living like your soul purpose, everything else will fall into place. So some of you are just getting back in touch with what brings you joy and happiness, and whatever lights you up and inspires you, that's something you should definitely go after. And your heart and soul will know that, right? Because there's not a lot of wiggle room for negotiation there. It's just like, yes. It's an instant yes. For some of you, this may be talking about your children, or possibly a Sagittarius too. Yeah, shining light on things that have held you back, particularly negative thoughts or being hypercritical of yourself. The Nine of Swords can sometimes be struggling with anxiety or depression. And it's not about shaming you for that or anything, but there is a message here of like, acknowledging it is the first step, but then it's also being a good advocate for ourselves to seek, you know, help if we think that's necessary, or to recognize when we're falling into that habit or behavior, and doing something to promote our own self-wellness and our own self-care, loving ourselves, to be like, you know what, my body is telling me I just don't have it in me today, so it's going to be a self-care day. Or, you know what, I've spent 3 days in bed, and as much as, you know, I don't feel like I'm quite ready to go out and socialize or go out and whatever, be creative or whatever, I know that it's going to be good for me and it's going to inspire me, and even though it's hard, I'm gonna do it anyway. Like there is something about being a little bit more solution oriented, and really the core of the message is, you know, how is it serving you? You know, how is it serving you in like a self-care, self-love capacity? I see a lot of you questioning, reaching out to communicate with someone. It's like you're on the fence. You're half in, half out. It might have to do with a Pisces or a Leo. Something about this during the eclipse may have really come to light. The recent lunar eclipse it's with your King of Pentacles. So King of Pentacles is sometimes the husband card, but I almost get, I don't know if you're going through a divorce or a breakup, or you guys are contemplating a severing or a split up. It doesn't have to be a husband. Or it could be someone who you view them as, you know, potential husband material, or, you know, you can invert it, you know, it can be husband, wife, but I don't know, King of Pentacles, it's kind of like the husband card, essentially. And what's interesting, you have the Nine of Cups, and it kind of came out in reverse. So I think a lot of you are questioning if this person will be able to truly make you happy. Because ultimately with the Nine of Cups, it does say, it talks about self-satisfaction and our own happiness, that where we contribute to our own happiness. So it's almost like you're expecting someone else to come in and rescue you and save you from a version of yourself where it's this projection of I'll be happy once I'm in a relationship. And I think the universe is saying, you know, we got to get you happy despite being in a relationship. So anything else, like, it's just extra. It's just great, you know? I do think a lot of you are coming from a chapter of, again, it feels like Hangman, Nine of Swords energy, a chapter where it's just, there's been a lot of taking stock of things and a lot of sort of like soul searching and needing to go within and seeing things from a different perspective and course correcting, right? It's not about being right or wrong or, you know, regrets or shoulda, coulda, wouldas. It's just about being present, like, where am I currently and where do I want to go and how can I make the necessary steps and plans to get there? And in Aries season, like, we can go through the facts and the data and the writing and the this and the that and the contracts and the research, all that logical stuff. But at some point, you just have to go. You just have to move. Because Aries is such an action-oriented sign. It's like you just have to take the scary first step. You have to be brave. You have to be bold. You have to strike out on your own. You have to show the universe that you're still in it, It's like there is a heart alive and well beating in your chest. And it's like we got to move towards whatever our heart is calling us to do. So tell me about this, the King of Pentacles. Some of you may have gone through a transitional period at a job or an uncomfortable, awkward period with a boss, potentially. Some of you are meant to be your own boss. I just heard that. Yeah, not necessarily relying on other people to calculate how much you're worth in terms of like salary and paycheck, deciding for yourself, like, I want to make X amount a month a year, and so how am I going to do that? No one's going to tell me that that's above their pay grade or that they can't make room for that on their, on like their salary scale or whatever. It's like you're starting to decide your own worth and your own value. You're not looking for other people to tell you what that is. And then you have the Four of Swords. Let's see. So a lot of rest and contemplation. I think there is a connection in your life where there was a period or a chapter of healing, but it's like you're not sure whether you want to poke the bear again. Your thoughts are very tethered to the past, and I'm not sure if I don't know. I don't want to speak on this with precision, if that makes sense, but it almost seems like you're tethered to something that might not have been healthy, but you're not totally ready to release it. It could be that you're wanting to revisit a conversation one last time to see if it can bring healing and clarity, or if it is just sort of a final closure, like bringing closure to some sort of chapter in a relationship with your life. And it might even be with a father figure. It doesn't have to be, but yeah, I don't know. With the King of Pentacles, maybe it's an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, a boss figure. I'm not sure what that is. You may want to revisit an opportunity with a coworker or a former place of work. The Knight of Wands is a great adventurer, very curious, very interested. Always wanting to learn and experience and absorb what's going on around them. And then he goes off into the next thing. So for some of you, you may have this idea of fixity, like I need to be at the same job for X amount of years, or I need to make a certain amount of money, or this or that. And there's something fixed coming through with the Taurian energy of the King of Pentacles, when maybe this is a time for exploration and discovery and learning. Education is very important when the Knight of Wands comes up. But it's not necessarily education, where it has to be an online course or a university or going back to school. It could be, don't get me wrong, that's fine, that's encouraged. But with the Knight of Wands, it's like learning, it's like the school of life, going out and experience things and having conversations and watching and witnessing, asking questions and kind of immersing yourself in what you want to become. It's a good card for networking, right? If you want to be a billionaire, go make friends with a billionaire and talk to them. Ask their strategy. Ask them how they did it. And then maybe getting excited and enthused and empowered by that and going out and cutting your own path to bring that to fruition. And I mean, that's a silly example, but hey, I'm not going to put a cap on it. So there is something significant with Sagittarian energy here in the horseback riding. King of Cups. I'm liking this more. I'm seeing something about like a deadlock, like you guys staring each other in the eye. I don't know if this is your King of Pentacles. I think this is something new. I think this is someone who's more emotionally intelligent and knows what they want. When you first meet them, they might seem a little bit distant or closed off, but it's because they're trying to catch the vibe. They're trying to get to know you a little bit more. It could be romantic, but it could be a collaborator in any sense of the word, but they do have a lot to offer. This could also be sort of someone who's going to invest in you, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. I'm not sure what that is, but it has to do with like feeding back the energy that you give them. It's more reciprocated. But you seem to be not as committed to this as they are. It might be with a water sign, a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. It's not that you're not interested. You're not willing to give up your freedom right now because you are about to embark on some sort of chapter where freedom is very, very important to you. So it could be that you're looking to do something more, and this is just an example, something more like independent contractor, and this person wants to bring you on full time to their company, and you're like, I want that freedom to go and meet with other clients or to go and kind of like build my own stuff. I don't necessarily want to be locked into a contract. That's very interesting to me with like the whole Libra Aries stuff going on, astrologically. But yeah, you seem to have sort of this. And this is coming through work-wise. It may resonate for you romantically too, but it could, the message could also be inverted. It could be someone else you're dealing with. Freedom is a really important word here, and the ability to move about freely and not get sort of caught up in commitments or feeling trapped in any sort of negotiation or relationship. But you're doing it with goodness and light in your heart. I don't think you're trying to trick anyone or do anyone dirty. It's just, I think you're kind of embracing this. I'm kind of on this chapter of like self-exploration and seeking happiness. And I don't want to be tied down to something if I don't know if it's going to make me happy yet. I'll play around with it. Like, it's funny. It's coming through as like player energy. Like, I'll fool around with it a little bit. Like, I'll see what's up. But like, at the same time, like, I'm not making any promises of the long term. That message does actually feel kind of romantic, but it's funny. It's coming through as your energy, Libra. So you may relate to this, but others of you, it could be like a cross watcher checking in to see if their Libra's going to commit, especially a male Libra. I will say that. Yeah, I think there's a water sign who's going to come visit you, and it's going to be very nourishing. They have a lot of love to give you. Healing energy. It could even be a family member, a sibling, a cousin who maybe lives at a distance. They're coming to see you, and it's just going to be really fun and cathartic. You guys may go out and I don't know, do the thing you used to do. It almost feels like sort of like a girls weekend or this or that, and it doesn't have to be, right? The gender isn't significant, but it feels very watery. It's like being around them is good medicine. They have a lot of healing vibes, and they may just shine a light on something that makes you see something in a different way about yourself, because they're really good at empowering you and motivating you and supporting you. So you have that to look forward to. And they already know who you should be with. They already have very firm ideas about who your soulmate is or who you should get into contract with. Some of you may end up pursuing a career that your best friend is in, something about a friendship dynamic. They may have a connection or a pulse on a job or a company that you're trying to get into. Yeah, look to your friends for help in getting a foot in the door, especially in regards to networking or financial stuff or career stuff that could be helpful to you. All right, and then this says grounding. You're being asked to ground yourself. You've been spending too much time in your head, and it's time to pay attention to your body and to the earth. Go outside and plant your feet on the ground and enjoy the centering feeling that this brings. All right, Libra, that's what I got for you. Thanks for joining me today, guys. Please show some love and hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you do hit the notification bell so you'll be alerted when I post readings. And if you want more content from me, I am on Instagram and Facebook. Thanks for joining me today, guys.